What's going on, collective? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Belligerence. Like, comment, share, and or subscribe. Just 1 second here. Let me switch this over to phone. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, let's see here. Let me turn this off. Okay. All right, so basically today, I did get a couple of downloads today. It was something about two brothers. Something about two brothers. I did see somebody in a paramedic, somebody getting hauled off in a paramedic. I did see an angel of death out here. I know you guys know that I did that last reading about the Passover angel. He is back out here with Moses. The energy of Moses is out here too. A lot of that it doesn't have anything to do with, people who are in the upright though. So if you have been like, receiving like spiritual attacks, stuff like that, or if you are, being, I would say, yeah, if you're under any kind of attack, basically there's this force that's out here that's going to adjudicate you, basically, is the vibe. With that adjudication, it's going to get kind of weird because, God doesn't perform the same miracle twice. If you pay attention to the Bible, he does it in different, if he does do the same miracle, he does it in different kind of ways. That's just like when Jesus fed the multitude, which he fed twice, right? The first multitude, he took 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, which was a child's lunch. And then the other one, he took, I think, seven pieces of bread or something like that, or like three loaves or something like that. And he made it enough for, the entire people. But the first time, I think they walked away with like 12, right? But yeah, definitely there's the vibe of, there was something about two brothers here. Okay, the energy will come out. But what I wanted to talk about personally, it has something. Oh, okay, I remember now. So I did a reading previously, right? And it had to do with somebody who who kept like running from the law or something like that. Basically, this is like another law enforcement reading. So there was somebody who like pretty much like kept escaping the law and all this other stuff, right? And I don't know if you remember or not, but I told you if you want to catch this person, you have to force them to rely on other people. And it wasn't for them to abuse the people, but it was for them, it was going to open up the door for more witnesses, because now the evidence is going to really like come out. You know what I'm saying? So let's see I'm gonna pull on that and we're gonna see where that goes. I got the number 7, so there's 7 cards to this, and we're gonna work this story in from there. Right? Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, so if you can, yeah, I'll put the cards on the table, and then as I read them, I'm gonna pull them up so you guys can see it too. Because all of that zoom in and all that other stuff is not where I want it to be right now. So, but thank God it's Friday. I'll just go ahead and get me one of those. What's the names? Hang on. There we go. Zoom out just a little bit. I'm trying to do this without tearing up my Matter of fact, I can unplug this. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's see here. First, you got the catfish in reverse. You got the boss. You got the student. We got quite a few characters out here. We got the throne. We got throne in reverse. You got the oracle in reverse. You got the vision in reverse. Wow. And you have the rebel in reverse here. Okay. So basically, wow. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 6 people here. You got 6 people involved with this evidence, okay? So basically you have with the catfish out here. Let's start at the beginning. Okay, so with the catfish out here, there was somebody who basically either lied about their identity or pretended to be somebody that they wasn't. But you probably already cracked that when you brought that out to the open, because this person had been pretending to be somebody that they wasn't. Okay, with 19 noble calling out here. So yes, this person tried to do some kind of swap or try to confuse authorities by pretending to be somebody with a more noble energy than what they normally have, right? But as a result, this person, I guess they've been hiding his boss energy or whatever, so they could have been like pretending to be like an entrepreneur or something in that manner, right? So if this person does have a business of some kind of sort, some way, shape, or form, there is something about the track record with this business, okay? Because this business is backed by somebody else. This person is like, there's somebody's boss. This person is working under a boss, and this boss, the vibe I'm getting here is that this boss has helped cover some stuff up with this person, or this person used somebody else's business to help cover their tracks. Yeah. So this person pretended to be somebody else and then hired on to work with somebody, and then was using their business to cover up their illegal dealings, essentially. You know, I don't know if she was sleeping with the boss or not yet, but all of that comes out, right? Also, you have a student here. This is somebody who is probably currently in school that is connected to the situation some way, shape, or form too. This could be, yeah, there's a student here. So I wonder if they had like an intern or something like that, or if the intern in this business was also involved with 9, treading on the tail of the tiger. So whoever this intern was, is kind of like, in order to fit in his business or to work in his business or to fit in or whatever it may be, this would be somebody that they would use to go do illegal stuff without actually letting this person know that it was actually illegal, or doing certain parts of the illegal activities without their hands being tied to it. So let's say with embezzlement, right? This intern would probably be the person who shred documents for them, not knowing what the documents are, essentially, is what it would be. That's essentially what it was, you know. So you also have the throne in reverse. In this position, this person from this case, you know, they didn't have any power, right? And basically that's what this was all about. So remember I told you you had to force this person to rely on somebody, right? This is who they ended up relying on. They relied on a business, a man with a business. This person could be light skinned, or this person could be Caucasian. And he took her in. Under his wing, he was using the student or the employee. She was using the employees and people, the resources connected to this person's business to do illegal stuff, right? Because she really don't have any power. But it looks like she had 3 accomplices that worked with her. You had the Oracle in reverse, the Vision in reverse, and the Rebel in reverse. So she had one person that was her muscle, one person who would look into the future, who would predict what was to happen, and then you had another person who looks forward to see, who basically was designed to give her a heads up of stuff that was coming her way. So you got two sets of eyes here with the Oracle and the Vision. Now the difference between the Oracle and the Vision is that the Oracle is naturally the Oracle is a naturally talented person. It could be equivalent to like a priestess, right? And then the Vision would be somebody who just looked up with the ability to be clairvoyant. Okay? Just because someone clairvoyant doesn't make them a priestess. But this Oracle that this person went to, it's a dark Oracle, the number 12. Oh, I should backtrack for a second and do the numbers for the throne. The number 25 in reverse here, yes, she seized power, or she was responsible for the usurping of this business in some way, shape, or form. It's almost like equivalent to her joining up with a rival company or one of her rivals or something like that, and destroying the business from the inside out. And mainly all of this had to do with her and her situation. And I'm saying her, but it could also very well be a male too, okay, or it could be transgender as well. Now you have the oracle here in reverse. Now with the oracle in reverse, this gives me the energy of like I say, like a priestess, like a dark, maybe a priestess who lost their gifts. Or this could be somebody who used to be in a spiritual practice and decided to walk away as some way, shape, or form. But that doesn't mean she isn't gifted, or that she doesn't have her power. But this person was consulting with her. This giving the vibe of a consulting. With the number 12 here, stagnation in reverse. She was trying to find a way to get out of all of this situation, or how to slow everything else around her down to give her time and room to maneuver around whatever this case had to be with. Had to deal with, right? And I'm gonna, right now, I didn't pull any cards on the case yet, but and there's a reason why. It's because I don't want to affiliate it with I don't want to say the wrong thing, which could, but anyway, not only did she consult an oracle, but she also consulted someone who was clairvoyant, like a dark clairvoyant. The number 48, the well in reverse. Whoever this person is, they no longer have the ability to see or to tap into this energy like they used to. They used to could be able to read certain people and have a grasp or have a certain hold on people, because it's almost like she would be like warning, not necessarily warning her, but she will always like give her advice based off what she sees, what she see coming, or what she see going on. You know what I'm saying? Kind of give me the vibe of like watching employees, you know what I'm saying? Or keeping an eye on the employees and make sure everybody is in order or in line. But you also have the rebel in reverse here. So with the rebel in reverse, this gives me the vibe of somebody who basically kind of like enforced everything else, right? Because with rebellion, the whole point of rebellion is for change, right? So the rebellion in reverse has to do with conformity, and anybody who is extreme in conformity does what? They have a tendency to bully and put people in line, okay? So yeah, this is a woman who used a business to try to hurt. She ran to a business and used this business to cover up what she was doing illegally. This isn't even her business, or it didn't start off as being her business. So let's see what else is going on here. See what the universe have to say about it. Okay, so in terms of the catfish situation here, you got grounding, yes. When it comes to grounding, essentially, that has to do with it says you're being asked to ground yourself. You're spending way too much time in your head, that kind of vibe, right? So remember I told you that you had to force this person to rely on other people in order to get evidence for this case. So by this person not being able to ground themselves, because whoever this person was, they were running around with the head, basically they was running around like a chicken with their head cut off, right? And they are going from whoever this person was, it's like they ran to a familiar place, okay? So I'm not sure if this person already have some kind of dealings or ties with this boss or whatever, right? But this boss with the number 22, Grace, shows some kind of pity on this person here. Time's up in reverse, yes. So it's kind of like, let's say if it was a criminal and this person went to go get like a 9-to-5 job to cover up the fact that they've been doing scams. That way they can like wash their money, or they can put like the illegal money with the good money, or they could find a way to cut people, like, be manager or something like that, and hire fake people on the payroll in order to fund the money to a certain account to make it look like these employees are being paid, when in reality it's embezzlement money. Something about fake employees. Definitely look into that with this business. Fake employees, or employees that have been terminated or let go, that was still receiving checks after a certain termination time. You see what I'm saying? Definitely look into that. But whatever it was, the time for that situation had been up, right? And then you got speak up right here. So yes, this intern knows some stuff, but they just don't. They're afraid to speak up. They're basically trying to focus on, whatever. They're trying to focus on themselves. This is a student, so this could be somebody who really need their job. You know what I'm saying? Whoever this young girl is, or this young male is, or this young person is, they know a lot, but they're afraid to speak up because they know you can't protect them. So whoever, whoever this person is, wherever they at, this young energy needs some kind of protection before they'll be comfortable enough to speak up. Okay. Next, with the throne, her not having power, lighten up. Okay. So because she doesn't have power, she used her charisma. She basically tried to make herself accommodating and comfortable towards other people or other employees, because essentially it goes back to the 48 laws of power. People tend to not turn on people who have a good following or have a likable character. You see what I'm saying? When you like somebody, you generally won't snitch on them or tell on them, or you usually let them have their way, right? So this person had been going around trying to like low-key learning about everybody else and trying to be like this light in everybody's dark energy. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like being like the optimistic one, okay? Which is why that catfish in reverse energy had came up, okay? So with the oracle in reverse, step back. This oracle stepped back from this person in this situation because this person already foresaw where it was going. And this oracle tried to step back from the situation because this oracle, and don't get me wrong, this oracle is not innocent by any means. This oracle has done a lot of disastrous stuff connected to the situation too. Even if this person was just going into the spirit to see what was going on and where everybody's hearts was at and how to play people. You're being asked to step back from your life in order to gain perspective. Yes. Now, don't zoom in too far onto this oracle, because you will get information about this oracle that helped. But it's like when you zoom in, or when you get through, basically you have to have an eye-bird view of the entire perspective, okay? Because this oracle is going to tell you their perspective of things, or how it's going to be like their perspective. But you have to take a step back and see the entire perspective of the whole thing. But the vibe that I'm getting is that this oracle, after whatever this dealing was, or after finding out that this person had legal problems, they decided to step back because they didn't want to get involved in some way, shape, or form. The number 12 here, stagnation. With the vision here, the number 48, that's the, the well, right? So with the 48, the well, that basically mean that this vision, the person who was keeping an eye on all this other stuff, or who was watching and all, keeping tabs and stuff of different stuff, this person basically, they violated their own moral code when it came to something here. It was something illegal that this person normally do, or there was something that this person do. Like, say if this person don't give correct change after buying but correct change after buying stuff, right? This person normally would, like, let's say if this person was keeping it to themselves, well, this person put somebody else on about it, then it became a big thing. You see what I'm saying? And when it became a big thing, everybody started noticing and knowing about it because this person failed to follow their own moral code about keeping something to themselves. You got resolution here. Now this person wants a resolution. This person is trying to resolve this because now it's all out of whack. Now imagine that the person who brought corruption into a business, and you help that person, and the boss find out and terminate you. And now any place you go after that, guess what? They're not going to want you. It's equivalent to stealing. So next you got the rebel, right? Last you got the rebel. So with this rebel energy here, like I say, this is basically the enforcer. This is the person that goes around and create chaos and drama and stuff with other people and other employees. I want to say it is creating a hostile work environment, because that is basically how this woman works. Okay, so basically this is how she works. When she goes into an environment that she wants to control, she creates a problem, and while everybody's trying to scramble to figure out that problem, she's in the background, in the background, trying to quote unquote help them resolve a problem that she initially created, which gives her access to more stuff and more power in this company. So this is how she rose to the top, or he or she. It's through chaos. This person, wherever this person goes, they create chaos because it causes people to let their guard down and let their protection down for this person to be like a parasite and look, figure out different stuff. So let's say if this person wanted to know how payroll works, this person, you will go to somebody and try to, have them start some stuff with the HR lady or whatever, and bully her and pressure her until she's really stressed out and she has to go on vacation. And she's like, you know what, you need a vacation. How about you, just teach me what I need to know and I'll just do it for you. And then this lady is unknowingly teaching her how to do the HR stuff. And the boss is like, well, I'm glad you stepped up or whatever, but whatever. And now you got her knowing what the financial situation is with the company. And now she's like making false checks or fake checks and stuff like that. Listen, yeah. This rebel heard something that she was not supposed to hear. So you have different witnesses here. This rebel is always listening to what's going on. This vision, the person who's supposed to be like the lookout, is always looking for a way to fix the situation. And the young girl out here is always looking for protection and speak up. So you might have to manipulate this. You got to think in terms of chess and not checkers. Then you might have to manipulate this in a certain kind of way in order to get this to work, because essentially this person set themselves up for a fork move, because you got the boss and his livelihood is at stake. The employees' livelihoods are at stake. And this person's legal situation are all at stake, right? You have to put pressure on two of the circumstances and let one go. You can't put pressure on everybody all at once. So either you're going to put pressure on the boss and the employees, or you're going to put the pressure on her and the boss, or the employees and her, and not the boss. Because it'll give them a way. You got to give this person a way out to escape, to see what route they will take to escape. When you give this person a route to escape, that right there will give you a clue into what you need to look into next with previous clues and hints that you get from this person. So let's say if this person left one business and started here, or let's say if this person was doing something illegal before they got here, and you want to know, exactly what they were doing essentially, or how did they get out of that, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to pressure, you're going to give her a way out by saying, hey, basically, I know you and the employees really don't have anything to do with this, but this is what we want to know. And then this person is going to basically use everything that she knows from what she learned in the company, and that'll give you It'll give you a footprint of everywhere in the company that she created chaos. She'll be telling on herself. You see what I'm saying? And then when you do that, even if she don't, the young girl, she's going to convince everybody else to work together, essentially, right? Because she doesn't want to go down. So that gives the young girl a chance to speak up. It gives the Vision a chance to resolve the situation. And then it gives the rebel a chance to express what they heard. But you know, hearing testimonies aren't always that good because it always changes because of psychological human behavior. And then, you know, the Vision, they have their own self-interest where they're going to exclude a lot of what they truly did. And then you also have it, because of all of that, it'll give you a chance to low-key protect the intern by letting everybody else know that you're going to protect all, you know, give them the appearance that you're going to protect all of them, when in reality, the overall goal is to protect that young intern because you know for sure she didn't have anything to do with it. But you get all the information that you need from there. All of it, all at once. The only person that might be let out is going to be that, it's the Oracle. But you don't need her testimony too much because everything, she is a doer. She's not a speaker. She's a doer. She did things. Anything that she did, if her name doesn't come up in anything, that's how you know that the testimony is already phony and fraudulent, essentially, or that it's been modified. Anything she says doesn't matter at all. Okay? But the key thing to pay attention to is how this woman chooses to escape, because she's going to throw the boss under the bus for sure, or because he's the most powerful person and she doesn't have power. It's easy for people who have something in common to stick together to overthrow the person who this is like the sore thumb. Now, and let's say if you're going to do it the other way. So the other way, let's say if you want to corner her, right? But you want to use the boss and the employees. You're going to go to the boss and say, look, we got evidence of, this and that. And honestly, the way that this is set up, it's so weird that, after all these years of you being in business, that something like this would come up, So we are going to have to do a formal investigation and look into everything that you got or whatever, right? And just start an investigation with him to check his paper trails and stuff like that. Because essentially what's going to happen is it's going to take you down a footprint that's going to lead to some work that she actually had her hands on. Remember I told you about the human resource lady? She didn't do everything. There was people in the company. This person is the kind of person that would kind of like step up and make themselves inseparable from the rest of the company. This is how parasites work. They latch onto things and then they drain it for all its vitality. But this is a little way to help you track back, parasites, essentially. Parasites like to keep their hands in different things, different bowls at once, because if one vitality source goes out, guess what? You need some kind of supply, right? Now's the time. This is the perfect time for it because everybody's getting hit with the government shutdown. So everybody's starving. Everybody needs their job. Everybody needs something. This is a time of need. This is actually kind of convenient for you, essentially, if you play this right. Now you're gonna come up with your own little way of doing it or whatever, and I'm gonna leave it up to you because you are the professional. But this is just something to take into consideration. So there is a way to corner her using her as well, where you don't use all, where you don't, you know what I'm saying? Now, essentially, if you're going to use her against herself, which is basically what we use for like Aikido, you're going to have to use her to either give more information on the other characters involved. And it's not by throwing in a whole bunch of time. It's not by, force. It'll have to be the slip of the lip. This person, it's like, because of the work that they're in, they like to try to think with other people's minds and see with other people's eyes and hearts. Now, if you let her know, basically, if you're going to use her against everybody else, and you think, you know, you basically let her know, like, hey, you know, well, not in so many words, let her know that, you know, you're protected, but from what I'm seeing, this corruption went back months or years or whatever, and we need to get to the bottom of it. You being new, I don't think you could have done all of this by yourself. So we need to know what's up, like what all is going on, because we have employees who have done this. We have this, you know, we got all this stuff that's going on here. It's basically a shit show here, basically. We tried to talk to the boss. No, well, I wouldn't even mention everybody else, you know, because she's going to give a testimony, right? And then guess what? She's going to give she's going to go home. She's going to think about what she said. And she's going to be like, oh, I should have said this. I should have mentioned this. I should have mentioned that. Give her another day or two or whatever. And she's going to think that you're on her side. So you ask her in so many words the same question again. And you're going to start noticing different details that's going to be filled in over and over and over again. It's not the stories that coincide that you're looking for. It's the pieces that don't match from the original story that you're going to use to continue to tell the rest of the story, as much of the story as possible. And then she's going to tell you about how she can get evidence and convince other people to do different stuff. That basically she's going to teach you how she set people up. Okay. If you don't want to do that and you want to get them all in one whop, you have to use a combination of those. Combination of it, right? But from what I'm seeing here, this oracle is probably going to be the hardest one, because this oracle has already been looking into things or whatever, and basically trying to rewrite their destiny and stuff like that and all that other stuff. But I'm pretty sure there's a way to catch that one too, and I'm gonna look into that one. Hermit. So yes, this oracle is already withdrawn from the situation, and is already doing like such a meditation, and basically this person is overthinking what they did and the role that they played in this situation. That's why they're trying to keep quiet, because they know if they speak, they have to speak they speak in truth, because they're governed by spiritual law. They speak in truth. If you ask this oracle anything and they lie to you, or they deceive you, or you think that they're lying or deceiving you, you just ask them when they're giving you information, you just say, hey, what is your intention? Like, what is your intention in telling me this information? What is your intention? And say it just like that. And then, of course, she's going to say, hey, you asked me a question, I'm giving you the answer. You asked me this, or you asked whatever. Okay. And then then you interrogate her. Okay. If at any point she lies, the spiritual influences are going to kick in, because there's some spiritual police that's involved too. And this is what's going to happen to her. You got the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Cups and stuff like that. 9 and 10 of Cups. Got the Ace of Swords out here in reverse. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. With this Ace of Swords out here, she ain't gonna be able to lie. But she's gonna feel a whole lot better, because she's gonna be able to get whatever this is off her chest. Because this affect her ability. This affect her money and her ability to use her gifts and stuff like that. Look at that. 8 of Pentacles out here. If she lied to you in any way, shape, or form, she's gonna have to find another job. And that job is gonna be a lot harder than what she got going on. So with this introspect, it's kind of like she's thinking about, let's see here. She likes where she is. She likes her job. She likes what she do. She might even have this love for her family or whatever it may be, right? But she will lie to you. She's gonna lie to you. That's why I said you need to ask her intentions, right? When you ask her intentions, if she done any spell work connect to the situation, it's going to backfire. So let's say if she did some work to try to hide the truth, she tried to do some kind of work to stop justice, she tried to do any freezer, binding spells, send, conjure spirits, hex anybody, whatever it may be. And that's something that you need to remember. If you ever come across somebody who you think is spiritual, you ask them what their intentions are for giving you that information. in so many words. It's all about intentions, right? And if this person is lying, the truth is going to be revealed. It's going to come out because this person ain't going to find no rest. Everything that they tried to do to hide or whatever is going to come up from the surface. And I'm pretty sure this person has done some kind of spiritual work to try to keep their hands clean and to hide themselves out of the situation. So that's how you corner her. Even if she knows what you're going to do before you do it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She could try to, she try to not answer or walk away or whatever it may be. That lets you know that her intentions aren't so well. But she will try to defend herself. Whoever this is, she's going to try to defend herself. She's used to talking. But she also used to keeping to herself too. But she going to talk. She going to say something. Whatever that something is, it's going to be a lie. Whether it's about her having to leave or whatever it may be, it's going to be a lie. And that's all you need her to do. You just need to corner her into a lie. Corner her into lying or avoiding the situation. You need her to avoid and or lie about this situation in some way, shape, or form, because her spiritual gifts are on the line. Everything that in this business that's connected to her spiritual gifts, whether it's surveillance in people, whatever it may be, it's all gonna backfire. It's gonna put in motion. Look at that, the chariot. She gonna take off. She's gonna try to run. Yeah, she's gonna try to. She's a runner because she knows she can't do that time. Star card out here. Yeah, when that comes to the light, or this information comes to the light, oh yeah, she's gonna take off running. 6 of Cups out here. Yeah, look at that. 6 of Cups. Familiarity, happy memories. Yeah, she ain't gonna want to fight no more. She ain't gonna want to resist. She ain't gonna want to resist what's going on here anymore. She isn't gonna resist your once that spell work start hitting, because this is stuff that came back from the past. It's gonna start backfiring from the past up until now. You know, it ain't gonna just be with this situation. I'm talking about from the past all the way up until now, because this person had impure intentions. All right. I wasn't gonna do this reading because I don't like being petty, man. But okay. I think I got time to be petty today. So yeah, this woman, she has these legal situations or whatever. Right? So let's look at the time frame. The best time. Well, we'll find out when each information happens. So let's see about the time that she started working. Look at this. Stop waiting. There's something about stop waiting here. With her energy. Whatever this is, you need to take action now, because she plans to take a train somewhere, either a train or a bus somewhere. She's trying to take she's trying to take an unsurveillanced transportation somewhere. Unsurveillance, so it wouldn't be necessarily the airport. This kind of person have to take buses from Miami all the way down and around through Mexico. That kind of vibe. Take a taxi, pay Uber, something that's unsurveillance. Yeah. Let's look at her energy. It's not worth waiting for. Yeah, see? She's trying to get out of here quick. Whatever it was, she had a plan on how to take a plane out of here. But whatever this is, whatever this legal situation is, it's not worth her waiting for it. She don't want to wait around for it. Like I say, stop waiting. Yeah. That's her intuition talking. So with the intern, fall. The intern saw something that was going on in the fall, or that's currently going on in the fall right now. There's something about something that happened in the fall that you need to talk to this intern about, or this young person about. With the oracle, allow things to come. See, with the oracle, like I say, you do that. You have to allow it. You have to allow what I ask. Allow that intention to set in. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to push it. You ain't got to rush it. That's the easiest kind of, detective work right there. That's the easiest, because you just let it happen. As it start happening, the universe start crumbling and shaking, and everything, all the evidence you need is everything that this testimony is gonna come out of this person, right? Because this person already trying to step back. There's a reason why this person is trying to step back, because they had their hands in probably almost everything this woman had her hands in. And then January, this the person who's supposed to be like the lookout or whatever, she's trying to resolve something that happened in January. There's something about the month of January with this situation that you need to look into, right? And then with the rebel, there's something about in a few months. They heard something over the past few months, but also in the next few months, you're going to start noticing something different about this person. Yeah, there's some things that's changing around here. And like I say, you know, I'll be trying not to be petty. I'll be trying to be chill, you know what I'm saying? But when you get people like this that, like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Since I did this channel, right? And since I did this channel and I started getting like I think like 2K followers or whatever it may be, it's like sometimes people will be like watching a video and all of a sudden I could just see certain people. But these are the people who will like come to my channel and like, you know what I'm saying? Like send like evil intentions and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And this is one of those people. This is one of them. If not all of it. This could even be, the whole group could probably be involved in this situation. So, man. So let's see what else we got going on here. Cause yeah, that's basically what it is. So let's see what other evidence that we should be looking out for. You got the lost compass, you got the Netcaster in reverse, and the cosmic wound. Now this is really cool because, okay, so with the lost compass here, basically this whole thing is gonna like magically fall back into place. Timelines are gonna match up. Witnesses are going to match up. Things people are saying is going to start making sense. Everything is going to fall into place. Everything is going to fall into place. Everything has a system, but it is a culmination. I mean, it's an accumulation of systems. That's why you have to corner her. You have to fight. You have to, you know what I'm saying, use one of those methods on her, or even another method that'll work for you. Because everything that she had her hands in so many different pots, you know, that it's just an accumulation of different information that can be pieced together. Yeah, it's an accumulation of stuff. But it's all going to tie back to one person and one hand, and that's hers. Whether she used other people to do it or not, there's going to be different orders that was given out. And even now, because of the amount of people involved, that's even better, because the stories are going to start, like, you know what I'm saying? They may even argue amongst themselves to try to get a story together. Even if they do have the same story, there's still going to be dissimilarities. Everybody remembers something different. And if all the stories are the same, you know it's rehearsed, because everybody remembers something different. Everybody has a different perspective. We learned that in the Rashomon. One event happened, many different perspectives, and all of them tell a different story. Now you have the Netcaster here in reverse here. Now with the Netcaster in reverse, it's like whatever this person called themselves trying to do. Like, let's say if you know, if you follow this system, this person already had a mechanism set in place, Netcaster, or you probably even figured, like, you know, you had a way to capture this person, or you probably even got this person captured or whatever, right? This person has made certain preparations, right? And it's not gonna work. Whatever this person is prepared to do is not gonna work. Whatever you were prepared to do in terms of like, you know, like, I would say, like, let's say you was the approach that you were gonna do for this investigation, right? There was loopholes in there. There's loopholes in there, and with these loopholes, It is designed like that for a reason, because of how many hands are in this pot. You know what I'm saying? Like with a net caster, when you're casting a net, it has holes in it, a lot of holes. Well, you don't want that. You want the cosmic womb. The difference between a womb and a net caster is what? The womb is completely engulfed. You'll have the entire thing like contained, because you're going to be able to see all perspectives connected to this energy. Your intuition is going to lead you to everything that you need to see, and instead of you having to do, like, you know, well, you're going to have to do some kind of work, but instead of you overworking, which is exactly what this person does. Remember, I told you that this person excels at chaos. That this person being and having their hands in many things is designed to be chaotic. Because if your mind is focused on the chaos, it gives this person an opportunity to prepare to do different other stuff to get out of this. This is a circumstance situation. You have to allow it to come together. You have to allow. It's going to come together, but you just have to allow it. Because of how many different things and how this person operates and how this person fights. Chaos. Now, another thing, if you are going to corner this, you know, when it comes to the legal defense of this person, basically you're going to have to introduce something chaotic to this person's, you're going to have to introduce something chaotic to the case. Some kind of chaos, some kind of form of chaos to the case. Because while this person is going to do exactly what they've been doing to other people. So let's say if you introduce some kind of chaotic, some kind of evidence that, you know, has this person like emotionally riled up in some way, shape, or form, right? This person's going to start running off at the mouth, running at the mouth. While they're doing that, this will give you an opportunity to, you know, do something else in terms of like build more on that case. I'm not saying that this person is emotional, but it has everything to do with this person's fighting style. This person creates chaos so that you'll drop your guard in one direction so that they can hit you in a different direction. It's almost like boxing, almost, right? But it's up to you to use those gloves, right? All right, that's all I got. I love y'all all, and I do have one more detective thing, because I did something came to mind about somebody being well, I ain't gonna say self-deleted, but there was a unaliving in the basement, and I'm gonna tap into that one next. All right, I love y'all all. Y'all take it easy. Peace.